Alright, so this video is for the person that is wondering how everybody else is winning in life and it feels like things are just so hard for you. Well, this video is for you. I'm going to talk about the mindset that got me to $50,000 to $75,000 a month with no college degree, with no high school diploma, right? Just simply a mindset that allows me to win at a very high level. And if you're watching this video and you feel some sort of hopelessness, I can tell you, I know exactly what it feels like to watch everybody else win, and you're sitting there just not getting why things are so much harder for you and why everyone else seems to win effortlessly. So, I want to preface this by letting you guys know that what I'm teaching you here is my paradigm, my set of beliefs that allows me to move extremely fast in business in order for me to get the results that I'm getting, right? And what a paradigm is a set of beliefs that cause you to think a certain way because the way that you think will determine the actions that you take, and the actions that you take will determine what your life looks like. And so I just remember failing so much in my teenage years and my 20s and just not understanding why is everybody winning and why am I failing? Well, this video, I want you guys to watch the entire thing because I'm going to show you exactly how I think, and this is going to change your life. If you actually implement these strategies, if you actually implement this information and you do what I tell you, right? Or yeah, really, just do what I tell you, I promise you your life is going to change. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Number one, fear is my compass, not my signal to run. This is such an important one that really changed my life. I was such a scared little bitch. I have no other way to say it, but I was really just so scared when I was younger. I was scared to ask out women. I was scared to be myself. I didn't want to crack jokes, and then people didn't think it was funny. I was so scared to, start a business. I was so scared to be myself. I was just so scared to do everything in life. And I ran away from things that I was scared of. And one day I just kind of had this thought. I'm like, what if I used everything that I was scared of as a compass, as like a North Star? Because I just remember feeling hopeless and just not knowing what the next move was. I was 20 years old. I didn't have any sort of job. I was quitting every single job every year. I couldn't hold a job to save my life. I didn't have anything going for me. I had never made more than 50, maybe $60,000 a year. And I was just in a position just feeling so hopeless. And I remember just having this thought one day. I'm like, what if I just start doing this stuff that I'm scared of, right? What would my life look like? You know? Because I felt like I was trying everything. I was reading books. I was working on my discipline and going to the gym and improving in that sense, but nothing was changing. No financial gain whatsoever, no sense of freedom. I was still working a dead-end job. I was working as an insurance claims adjuster. Thank God my friend got me that job, because if not, I was probably jumping around somewhere else. But I just remember having this thought one day, like, let me just start working on the things that I'm scared of and let's just see what happens. And it was crazy because my life changed so quickly after that, right? And now I know if something scares me, it's the exact thing that I need to work on for the next 6 months, year, whatever amount of time it is, right? Because if your life is not changing, it's one of two things. Well, let's just start with number one, right? The main thing that I would say is that you're continuing to avoid the things that scare you. That's why your life is not changing, because life is telling you what you need to do by showing you the fear, and you're running from it. And if you continue to run from it, nothing's going to change because you're going to be in the same position, and life changes when you start doing things that you're scared of. So I wanted to be the guy that could get women, right? And I never got attention. I was a scrawny little kid in high school. I was a pothead. I had nothing going for me. I always wonder why women didn't take any interest in me. But also too, I never asked out women. So how would I even know if they were interested in me or not? I mean, as a man, you need to approach women, right? I was waiting for them to approach me. Something wrong there in terms of logic, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me just start asking women out. Let's see what happens, right? Let's start a business. Let's see what happens, right? And none of this happened for me until I was 28. I decided at 28, I went through a crazy life experience where one of my closest friends, childhood friends actually, he died on my birthday. And that just woke me up. I was like, oh my God, life is short. I could die tomorrow and I would have nothing to show for it, like absolutely nothing. And that scared me, And that became the real fear in my life. Not being embarrassed, not getting rejected. The biggest fear in my life at that point now was if I die tomorrow and I have nothing to show for it, I'm actually going to be so pissed off at myself because I never tried. So I started my first business, and within the first year we did $500,000. It was crazy to see, crazy to see. So, what I realized was I just needed to try. Maybe I'm actually good. Maybe women actually like me. Maybe I'm pretty damn good at making money online, right? And so that's number one, right? Use fear as a compass. Biggest thing that you could do in terms of actionable steps, write a list of all the things that scare you in life, put them in order, and then that's the only thing you need to work on for the next year. Yep, it's that simple. A lot of people, they overcomplicate it. They do all the things, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but they continue to avoid the things that they're scared of, and that's literally why life never changes, because you're not doing the things that will move you forward in life. There's a reason why it scares you, because that's where change is, okay? Number two, I buy time by paying for information. This is the only time you can actually buy time, right? You can't actually get more time, but it'll save you time in terms of how quickly you can execute. So you guys got to understand something. I'm 33 years old. The people I pay are like 20, 25, 30. They're all younger than me because this day and age, these people are just so smart, right? Like, you don't need to be the old wise guy to have information that can make you $50 to $100,000 a month. Like there's kids out there making $50 to $100,000 a month. I don't care how old you are. If you have information that I can use to then use in my own business or whatever I want in life, I'm going to pay for it. Because the thing is, with YouTube University, with all the information that's out there, there's just so much content for you to consume that you could figure out everything if you're smart enough to sit down and kind of just piece everything together, right? But the problem is the time factor, right? So for me, I'm like, hey, let me just pay someone that has it all packaged together as the results that I want. And like last year, I spent $70,000. Well, I made about $500,000 last year in total revenue with great margins. Right, this year I spent $13,000 already. It's January 10th, 2026. I've generated $30,000 in revenue already 10 days into the year. Right, so the ROI is definitely paying off, and I'm going to continue to make money from that $13,000 I spent. Right, so this is what I do. I find people doing what I want to do, making the amount of money that I want to make. I learn their exact framework, and then I compress time by paying for it. So yes, could I learn all the stuff about ads or running webinars or whatever it is? Of course, I'm sure I could figure it out. I think of myself as pretty sharp, but it might take me 3 to 6 months. Versus I can obtain all the information and experience from somebody who has done it, is getting results, right, and learn it in about a month, and then move as quickly as possible and learn and adjust along the way. All right. Number three, speed. Okay, speed is so important, right? So when it comes to anything business-wise, like you need to move fast, right? And really anything in life, you need to move fast because we have this false sense of security that we have more time than we really do. And what we don't realize is that time is going to move with or without you. So you need to move incredibly fast because if you don't, right, you tend to lose momentum, motivation. You need to strike while the iron's hot, when the excitement is there, when the motivation is there, because this is how I look at it, right? Let's say you get excited about some new idea. You want to execute it. You're like, I want to start this business, right? But you move relatively slow, right? After a few weeks, you're going to lose that motivation. You're going to lose that excitement. So you're going to have to rely on, discipline to really just show up every day and do the things that you need to. But here's a little trick that I use, right? Let's say that if I can start and I can see some sort of proof of concept or result in like that first week, that excitement tends to grow, or it tends to keep burning, right? It allows me to then use that energy of excitement to keep the momentum going and keep executing at a very high level. Also, for me, right, progress or forward progression is the most important thing in my life. I don't need to necessarily make money, but I just need to see that I'm moving forward, right? So even if I'm not making $10,000, if I make $500 in 7 days, okay, well, now I know I can do it in 5 or 6 or 4 days, right? But I know I can make $500 regardless of how long it takes. Now let's just speed up the time it takes to make that 500 and rinse and repeat to the point where Maybe it takes you 30 minutes to generate $500, right? But you need to move very, very quickly, right? And so that's my biggest secret when it comes to my ability to build successful businesses is executing at a very, very fast speed to the point where I don't even let myself get to the point of like letting discipline take over, right? I move so fast that the excitement grows, the anticipation of my growth is still there, and I'm using that leverage of energy to keep myself going, right? Because the moment that you stop, you start getting tired or you start getting discouraged and it gets harder and harder to do things. So you need to move incredibly fast so you see fast results, so you keep that momentum going. And so that's one of the main things that I do when I start a business. I don't wait. I'm not waiting a month to launch. I'm starting today. And you could even say I'm a little impatient, but this impatience, it works in my favor when I utilize the mindset behind it properly. 4, focus on the real inputs that actually matter. So a lot of people think that they're doing the work that brings them results, but what they don't realize is that they're tricking themselves into thinking that they're actually doing the work when they're not, right? And so what is doing the work, right? And this is something that I really had trouble with, right? Like showing up to the gym is not doing the work. Even working out is not doing the work. Working out till failure and tracking your progress and aiming for progressive overload on a week-to-week basis is doing the work, right? If you want to build muscle, you need to lift more weights, progressively higher and higher reps or weight over time, right? If you just keep doing the same workout, you might grow some muscle in the beginning, but eventually you're just going to be in a maintenance position instead of actually continuing to grow, right? People that want to start a business, they think creating an LLC and buying a course is doing the work. It is not doing the work. Promoting your business daily and executing on the information within the course is doing the work, right? So, for example, I have a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I started my credit repair business. I told my friends and family about it. I'm like, how many times do you post a day or a week about your business, right? And especially if you're service-based, right? Like you do things for other people and you get paid for it, right? Whether it's credit repair, hair, nails, any sort of service, right? I'm like, how often do you promote it? They're like, I don't know, once every 2 weeks. I'm like, how do you expect people to know what you do? What if they weren't on Instagram that day? So they're gonna have to wait 2 weeks to figure out that you do that? Like, that's crazy, right? Like, I tell a lot of my students, or I guess all of my students, like, you need to post every single day. And yes, you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose people who are gonna unfollow you and be like, oh, this guy's annoying, but that's how you need to do it. Because you cannot leave your business in the hands of other people, right? You need to do everything that you can to post on a daily basis to flood people's feeds with the fact that you do a certain thing and you're the best at what you do and you're the guy to go to if they want that service done, right? And so every business that I started, I post relentlessly. When I first started doing day trading, I was posting my client results every single day, right? When I started doing credit repair, I was posting as much as I could, right? Because you got to understand, like, some people just are not on social media that day. Or maybe they just took a social media break. Well, guess what? They could be a client of yours, but they wouldn't know because you post once every month or you post it once and everyone should know that you do this now, right? It's on your profile. But here's the thing, guys, even a billboard, like when do you see a billboard and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that, right? They flood it all over your feed and your surroundings and they, they grab your attention to the point where you eventually purchase it because you're like, well, I've seen this ad like 20 times, like I'm interested, let me go check it out, right? So like this is what I mean by doing the work, right? Like just posting once is not doing the work. You did the work once, but the real work that gets you the results, you got to flood the feed. People need to really see that you're the guy. Like think about it like this. If somebody's posting new results every single day, you start to think, God damn, they might actually know what they're doing, or this can't be a scam, or he can't be BSing because there's just no way he could fake that many results. Like, I'm intrigued. I need to reach out to him, see what happens. Then obviously you gotta have those sales skills to close a deal, right? Let's say that you want to find a girlfriend or meet your wife. Like going bar hopping with your friends, hoping to accidentally run into your wife is not doing the work. You know how guys are. Yeah, let's go out there, man. Let's go find some women. And they stand in the corner and never actually do anything. They're like, today sucked, man. Like there's no hot girls there, right? But Are you actually going up to women and asking them, starting a conversation? Are you approaching women? Are you asking for numbers, right? Because that is doing the work, right? Yes, you're going to get denied several times, probably more often than actually getting numbers, but you'll get to a point where you get very comfortable approaching women and being able to ask for phone numbers and starting conversations, right? That's also going to build character. It's going to make you kind of numb to like getting rejected, which is a great thing if you're an entrepreneur because you don't want a no to hold you back in life, right? But this is why I say that you need to focus on real inputs that actually matter and give you real results, because a lot of people get confused. They think that by going through the motions, they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they're not necessarily improving in life because they're not doing the real things that are going to bring tangible change in their life. Okay. Number 5, find your tribe, right? This is a pretty important one. Pretty important one. You know, my friends, I love them, and I don't believe that you should just cut off your day ones just to like make it in life. But you do need to spend more time with people who are like-minded with you, right? So I met my first entrepreneur friends in a day trading Discord in 2021 that I was paying $125 a month for, right? And here's why you should do it, right? You're networking with people who have the same goals and interests as you. That's just like one of the best places to be, where you don't feel bad for talking about wanting to start a business, to wanting to make money online, right? There's other people who have the same mindset as you, and they're like in the same position of like, let's find success in this lane, right? And you're also allowing yourself to spend time with people where you can talk all day and learn and really grow together, right? I can tell you one thing, I love my friends, but they will not sit there and talk to me about business. They don't care, right? Or they're not gonna care about like talking about day trading for like 8 hours. They're gonna tell me to shut the hell up because like, dude, just relax. Like we're just chilling and hanging out with our friends. Like I don't want to talk about this shit. Like I'm not interested in it, right? So when you're in a environment where a lot of people are interested in it, you could talk to them all day. I remember during COVID when we were locked in, I was talking to these guys like 8 to 10 hours a day about day trading, sitting down, doing Zoom calls together, learning together, joking around, making, being friends with them, really. But it allowed me to be in an environment where I could really focus and not feel bad that I was so passionate about a certain thing, like, making money online. And then the crazy part was 2 of them actually ended up being my business partners in my first day trading business that I told you guys about, the subscription-based business. We did $500,000 in revenue in the first year, no ad spend, no experience being an entrepreneur. And that was really cool to kind of like meet some online friends and make a ton of money with them together. And we used to like travel and do like business trips. Like it was really cool. Like we would go like to, I think we've been to like Los Angeles, Seattle, we went to a couple of other places. But that was cool to just find my tribe and be able to be in a position where I could talk about whatever I wanted to talk about, whatever my passions were. I mean, at that time, it was like making money online on a computer, and the avenue or the lane that we had was day trading. Number 6, vulnerability. This is like one of the best things. It goes back to number 1, really, right? Like doing the things that you're scared. But vulnerability is one of those things that a lot of men don't want to be vulnerable, right? They don't want to be vulnerable, but this is like a superpower in my opinion, because the biggest mistake of my early years was I was always playing it safe. I didn't want to be vulnerable because if I didn't ask out women, I wouldn't get rejected. If I didn't start a business, I would never fail. If I, didn't crack any jokes, they wouldn't fall flat and nobody would laugh at me because my jokes sucked, right? If I didn't commit to something long enough, I could just say, oh, it wasn't working out, it wasn't for me, right? And so I just remember feeling like, man, why is my life so dull? Like, why do I feel like I don't feel fulfilled in life? And the reason is because the things that bring you like real fulfillment in life require you to be vulnerable, right? Like if you want a genuine connection with a partner, like you need to be vulnerable and be able to open up, right? If you want to have a successful business, well, you need to take the risk and risk failure, risk losing money, risk being like losing friends, risk being made fun of, right? And um, if you're like never yourself, like you're a very likable person, but you never feel like fulfilled because you're not who you really are. You're dulling who you are as a person so that people don't like dislike you, right? But when you're truly, genuinely yourself, you're gonna have people that dislike you. But here's the thing, you're also gonna have people that really, really fuck with you for the person that you are, the true person that you are, and they're gonna be much stronger relationships than the superficial, like surface level relationships of people that, you know, you're trying to be liked by. Okay? Now, if you're looking for a good book that's going to go into vulnerability, it's called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. It is one of the best books I've ever read. It changed my life. She really goes into like vulnerability, like that's her specialty. And I would say if you're in a position where you're like, how do I be more vulnerable, right? Like I hear what you're saying, John, but how do I actually be more vulnerable? How can I get a better understanding? You should definitely read this book. It's called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. Okay. And this one, ChatGPT just came up with this, so I wouldn't really go into this. But yeah, guys, this is like the mindset that I have that allows me to, you know, drive my dream car. I have an M3 Comp X Drive 2025. I have a $50,000 day date, right? I bought my own house last year. I travel whenever I want. I have great credit, and it's kind of crazy to see how quickly my life has changed in the last 4 or 5 years um, by adopting this mindset. So if you made it this far, congrats to you. You're in a position where you really genuinely care about growth and you want to learn, and I'm here to help you guys get to that point. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to help you. If this video was helpful, share it with a friend, guys, because ultimately this is information that can change somebody's life. Don't be gatekeeping this information, right? I'm sharing it with you here today free of charge because I want you to win, I want you to succeed, and I really think that this type of mindset can help you get there. So appreciate you guys. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.